Shana Tova Umetuka, happy and sweet year to each and all. So friends, we're all familiar with this beautiful Rosh Hashanah custom of dipping the apple in the honey, tapuach bitvash, as we sit around the Rosh Hashanah table with our family and friends. We take out a slice of an apple, we dip it in honey, and we wish one another a Shana Tova Umetuka, that our upcoming year should be good and as sweet as this honey. But the question, of course, is if we are seeking to wish one another a blessing of sweetness, then why not use sugar? Why not use another sweet item? My personal favorite is chocolate. Why not use that? Why specifically honey? And the answer speaks to the secret of life. You see, friends, there are two types of sweetness. There is sweetness that comes from natural events, say going to a vacation and having what we call a good time. That produces some type of sweetness. But there is also sweetness that comes specifically from challenges. The honey that we eat on Rosh Hashanah reminds us of that type of sweetness because that honey came from a bee. Bees have stings. And this is to remind us that even though we may be facing stings in life, hardships, difficulties, challenges, we have to know that there is honey, there is sweetness even in those challenges. Yes, in every challenge, there's an opportunity. In every moment of darkness, there is light. We ought to muster the courage and grow from those challenges, create blessings from the seeming curses. This is why we use honey. But I'd like to leave you with yet one more message that this honey conveys. And the message is that honey, as mentioned, comes from bees. Now think about this. The default setting of bees is to create honey, to create sweetness. It's not to sting. They know that if they sting, they die. And so too must be our default setting. Our default setting as human beings, and particularly as Jews, should be to create honey, to produce positivity, to infect the world with love, with kindness, and with goodness. Because we also know deep inside that if we sting and we harm someone else emotionally, psychologically, or God forbid, physically, then we will die a spiritual death like bees die when they sting. So I wish you, my friends, that this year should be a Shana Tova Umetuka, indeed like the honey. That sweetness should be a sweetness that we find in every level of life, in every realm. And should we face a challenge, let us find sweetness in that challenge too. And as we live through this year, a year which will please God be the best year yet for each of us individually and collectively, we should also remind ourselves time and time again, day in and day out, that our default setting, the way God created us, is to produce honey, just like the default setting of the bee, never to sting, but rather to lend a helping hand, an attentive ear, an open heart to all those who need it. And yes, give out more and more honey each and every day with deeds of goodness and kindness, with our mitzvahs that we will take upon ourselves for this upcoming year, mitzvahs that will only grow with time and illuminate the entire world. Shana Tova Umetuka.